Alright, loyal fans, you might have noticed something a little bit different. I've upgraded my spaceship. This is it. This is our new spaceship. I did some stuff that I didn't think you all would want to see, so I just did a bunch of missions in order to get this up. Just banging around looking for stuff, trying to see if I could find some combat missions. And what I learned, and what I love doing more than anything, is learning. I've missed a whole bunch of content. So first of all, let me show you our new ship. This is our new ship. It's a BE-1 Gabriel. That was the name automatically assigned to it. Right now, since when I upgraded it, I didn't have a whole lot of money left over. It's just got some weapons I was able to throw together. I've got these guns here. Unfortunately, I can't hover over them to see what they are. I would have to actually uninstall them. So let's go to the garage. Maybe it'll show us in there. Okay, there we are. So we got blaster lasers. We got 3 of those. Those were level 3s. Now there's different types of lasers. There's beam lasers, which just, one solid stream, but those were for long range. These are for medium range. I got to launch some missile launchers because I love missiles. The shield generator, which improves our shields, make them regenerate a little bit. And I got a scan booster. I don't know what it does for me. I honestly haven't seen any benefit to having longer scan ranges yet. But we're still pretty early in the game. Speaking of early in the game, I did some mapping too. I just went to some different star systems just so we could have some more options. What I have found right here, this system here is in red. It's a 9.7. It's owned by the pirates. This system down here, Bitcola, lots of raiders down there. So I had to do a mission down there. First time I went down there, I got destroyed. Just reloaded my saved game. Went in the next time, was a little bit careful. Kind of snuck around and was able to get in and out and get my mission done. So I don't know what's off here. I'm guessing Dragon Sea. I'm guessing this area over here might be heading towards pirate territory. I don't know if the game does that, because it does seem like going this direction. This is all, this is owned by the trade. This is owned by pirates. This over here seems to, I'm guessing this is Temple. Valley of Truth, Arch of Moray. That sounds like religious stuff. This direction is labor. This direction is law, and the orange is alpha. Now, every ship that you run into that's red doesn't attack you. Like, pirates are just another faction. Now, raiders seem like they're the only faction in the game that's free for all. If you attack them, it doesn't have any faction impact. Pirates, you attack them, is going to impact your faction standing with the pirates. And there are pirate bases in all these other places, so I don't know what the deal with those pirates are at the moment. One thing I learned that took me forever to learn was how to, alright, so like I said, I've got a missile launcher. It took me forever to figure out how to get missiles into my missile launcher. I wound up ejecting lots of missiles into space because I thought maybe I need to drag them up and drop them on top of there. No, you do that, drops the missiles into space. So I had to pick them back up. Tried everything, right clicking, left clicking, double clicking, spacebar, F1 through F90, everything, nothing worked. Finally, if you look down here, these tiny little boxes under there, I didn't think much of them. Just these tiny little ammo boxes. And Mr. Dev, I know sometimes you stop by and watch YouTube streams. If you can make this a little bit better, have to click under here. Now, if I click on that, you can see that that's switched to a 1. So it's loaded this missile that I only have a 1 of, and that's my missile Mark 1. If I click on it again, there's nothing loaded. If I click on it again, there's a 38, which tells me my missile Mark 3s are loaded. So now those are loaded. These other things here are some loot I picked up. I happened to be going through a system, and there was just a container that said ship loot. It wasn't a ship that I blew up. I've only blown up one ship so far. And what that was is I went and I had a mission. I went and got a, sorry. Where is it? Oh, there. I went and got a combat mission from one of the stations, and it said, go blow up this guy. So I went to fight the guy, which is where I got a big chunk of my money. Now, fight, that's a funny word. It wasn't a fight. So they said, this guy is a fugitive. He stole some stuff, and go blow him up and get it back. So I went to fight him. He was just an unarmed miner. I blew up his ship. It took forever. Even in this ship, it took forever to blow up his ship because he was in a big mining ship. He tried to run for a base. I was able to blow him up before he got to the base. I got about 250 space bucks for that. No challenge in it whatsoever. Which was kind of one of the issues that I had with the previous version of the game, was that you could do these long, involved trade, production, scouting missions, and you would get not much. You would spend a lot of time doing these missions or doing these other activities, and you wouldn't get much money at all. Or you could do some combat missions, and even easy combat missions paid a big chunk of money. For example, let me see if it's still here in my journal. So, where is it? See if it's still in here. There was a mission I just recently did where I got about 100,000 credits, over about 150,000 credits. It said go to, yeah, it was this one. It doesn't show me how much money I'm getting for. All right, so this one right here, this mission objective, hunt one level 10 raider in Dallas Prime area. So I went to hunt that one level 10 raider in Dallas Prime area. As soon as I warp into the system, there is a, does it show me how much money I got? Mission contracts. Find and recover. All right, right there, 134,000. So I got 134,000 for blowing him up. So here's the thing, I didn't blow him up. I warp into Dallas Prime area, and the police are already attacking him. Before I could even get in range with my weapons, the police had blown him up, and it was game over. I got the reward for the mission, just flew back to the station and got it. So what I'm saying is that there's a little bit of an imbalance between the payouts for combat missions, which usually turn out to be easy, especially later in the game, based on from Astrox hostile space excavation. Once you got to a certain point in that game, you know, I was flying around with a carrier with dozens of drones that could blow up anything instantly, and I was getting, you know, 700,000, a million, whatever credits for, you know, a 2-minute mission, combat mission, or I could have done, you know, all these trade, mining, and other sorts of activities, and would have been getting like 700,000 in an hour if I was lucky. Now, let me show you some other things that I noticed here, which was completely my oversight. When I first started flying around in the system, I clicked on one of these things there, this public energy generator, and I didn't think much of it. I thought all these other things attached to it were just part of the public energy generator, but they're not. I mean, they are, but they're not. There are other things you can dock with, like Labor United. This over here didn't look like a space station. It looked like it was just something dangling off the public energy generator. Public energy generator is something you can dock with. So I'm going to fly over there and dock with it right now so we can all see. Doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like a space station. It just looks like an extra module attached to these. See, I just thought this was all some sort of space structure here, but all these other things, well, not that, yeah, that. So there's an office center. We'll go over and look at that in a minute. Now, I had accidentally docked with one of these before, and I had a screen. It didn't look like this. It looked like this. I had accidentally docked with one of them, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move any. I couldn't look around with my mouse. You have to move first, and then your mouse becomes active. So now I can move around. I'm in this place, and look, there's outer space. Hey, that's where we just came from. I can see my house from here. Actually, I think this is Biomate University over there. Over here, you can't do anything with that. Nice to see they're still using the QWERTY keyboard in the future. And here's this guy. So I can come up to this guy. Looks like he's pretty tall. Welcome to the recovery desk. I have a stack of contracts if you're looking to earn some credits. I know what you're thinking, but trust me, collecting derelict crates is not as bad as it sounds. You can find some valuable stuff out there. So this guy belongs to enforcement, and this just seems to be another source of missions. Like if you really love doing these types of missions. Come here and do this. This is the types of missions where he says, fly to system X, pick up the stuff and drop it off here, and you get some space bucks. So I'm going to leave him for now. So let's go look at, so that was at the Labor United. Now, from what I can tell, Labor United always offers those same types of missions. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Labor United offers a collection mission. Can I put that on my notes? Journal, notes, add new note. Let's see if let's test out the mission interface. Mission types. Labor United offers collection. Here, my keyboard, I love it. Collection of derelict crates. I love this keyboard. I bought it. I just wanted a regular mechanical keyboard, and I got this, and it was so loud, I just fell in love with it. I need to, if I ever get a real job again, I'm gonna take this keyboard with me, not just because it's RGB, because nobody will ever be able to dispute I'm working when they hear that thing banging. So now, like I said, I docked with Office Center. This is when I accidentally docked with one of them before. All I see is this wall, and I couldn't do anything. I move my mouse around, nothing happens. But then if you use the keyboard, then it activates the WASD movement, WASD. So where are we at? We're in Office Center. This says this is owned by Commerce. So is Commerce always own Office Centers? I don't know. This guy's got some freaky eyes. He looks a lot like the other guy except for his eyes. Now, Bounty Office. So this was Office Center. And he's offering bounties. So let's put that in our notes. So, and then we'll do a bounty, because I know you don't want to just see me doing this. Apparently my ship is still going 77 meters per second, even though we're docked, which is a little disturbing, it's a little upsetting. So I do that, go to journal, go to notes. Can I just edit it? Apparently not. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, there we go. All right, so Office Center offers bounties. Buntis, save changes. There we go. All right, so let's see what type of bounty he has. All right, apparently, all right, I'm not gonna have to go all the way out and back in, am I? Apparently, I'm gonna have to undock and redock to reset him. Not that big of a deal. Something to keep in mind. Remember, this is early access. The developer's not expecting you to do things like that. All right, what do you got? The Active Bounty Office holds most of the unclaimed contracts for raider bounty missions. They are processed in sequence regardless of the raider threat of bounty payment. So they're processed in sequence, so I don't know if that means that if I accept this, I might have to fight a level 200 one. Great. Before we sign anything, what level of difficulty can your ship handle? So he says, okay, first of all, he says I just give them to him in sequence, but whatever. So I'm going to do easy bounty. Great. Be careful out there. Sometimes raiders get out of hand real fast. They have a knack for teaming up on you just when you think they haven't beat. Hunt one level 10 raider in Bit Cola and return to Biomet University. Now, Bit Cola is where I got blown up before, so a little bit of revenge would be nice. So I'm going to go to bring up my map. Now, we'll probably get blown up because I'm terrible at combat, no matter what game it is, whether it's Pokemon or this. So off we go. My new ship is kind of slow, but you know, hey. So we know Labor United is pickup missions, Office Center, bounty missions, and I hate that. It just automatically starts autopiling stuff. I thought I told it double click only, but that apparently doesn't pay attention to that all the time. So off we go to Ballast Crow. Now Ballast Crow is a red system, belongs to pirates, but it's a 9.0 security. Pirates really like their safety, I guess. That's their safe space. If you hear me drinking in the background, it's LaCroix. It's not beer, I swear. It's LaCroix passion fruit. I'm a very passionate guy. I gotta have my passion fruit LaCroix. It's LaCroix, so there's just barely any passion fruit taste. So off we go to Bit Cola. Not sure what that name is all about. I haven't mapped the stuff in here yet. Like that thing there, what is that? It's Labor United. And so we got a Labor United. Looks like that's the only extra one we have in here. We have a Labor United and a bunch of asteroids. I did find some systems that have different types of ore in them. This one's still just adamite, yeah. I did find some systems with some extra, with some quasar ore. Alright, so let's see what happens here. So first thing we do is to get in. We need to find our bandit so we can get blown up quickly. How far apart the star systems are does impact how long this warping thing takes. I'm gonna go straight into this and see if we can find our bandit. There's our bandit. I'm gonna start heading towards him. I'm gonna go ahead and activate all of our weapons. So I don't know how tough this guy's gonna be. So our missiles are flying at him. You can see that he's trying to run away. Alright, so Kios Fisai is not gonna be too difficult. It looks like his shields are, or at least most of his ship is gone. There he goes. Let's see if he drops anything. Now he drops a junk part. Now you can do salvaging in this game, but my current ship is not set up for salvaging. So there we go. So you saw that I blew him up. I blew one raider up. That cost me maybe 200 credits in missiles. Even maybe not even that. Maybe I don't know how many missiles did you got. 32 missiles left. 140. Let's say that even the missiles were 1,000. So now I'm just going to fly back to Biomate University. Basically the, Goldshire, if you're used to playing World of Warcraft, basically Goldshire. I'm going back to Void Starcross, Biomate University, 100,000 credits. If you watched my mining video, how long would it have taken me to earn 100,000 credits doing that mining? How long would it have taken me to earn 100,000 credits mining, refining, and selling that liquid coolant for 500 credits each? So those 105,000 credits. I could do this 10, 12 times and upgrade to a big Mamba Jamba ship. So we know what those two types of mission places are, but what I'm really curious is to see if it, I don't know if it affects if it's going to affect my, alright, so I'll show you. So my mission, this mission was given to me by Enforcement. My faction enforcement rating is currently 5.75. Remember that. 5.75. So if I go over here to Biomate University, turn this mission in, how much will my rating go up? I'm at 5.75 now. I got some experience, I got some skill points. I need to upgrade some stuff. Ship acceleration. Now that I've got the ship, I got to start upgrading my character. I think I need to start working on upgrading my character, because I can swap these things out. Since this is an escort ship, I can swap these things out and do mining if I need to. I got 375 mining. Oh, speaking of mining, if you remember, we had our little friend who was our miner helper, and remember, she cost 300 space bucks every 15 minutes or something like that. Well, I've got her deactivated because you can't tell them to just go dock and stay there. She followed me everywhere, and I was worried about her getting hurt, so I deactivated her. So she's at a station somewhere waiting for me to come pick her back up. My standing with them has been adjusted by 0.8 points. We have 4 skill points, 105,000 credits for pretty much not doing a whole lot. Now see, now that we're going up in level and stuff like that, we're getting more and more missions, but these are all mine, procure, retrieve, gather, extract ore, special Terram ore, but it is telling me to go further and further away. So now we got 100,000 credits. Like I'm saying, is like if we do those 100,000 credits each, I mean, it's not going to take us long to able to upgrade to a frigate, which is, you know, a big ship. It's not a battleship, but it is a frigate. It's slow, but it has, you know, but it's designed for combat. So that was those two. So we have Welcome Center. That's where you start the game at. You start in the all right. So let's go see what this community farming center is. Sounds like a good place. A bunch of people selling space CBD oil, barefoot women in dreadlocks and cornrows, men tending their compost piles. Sounds like a good little hippie commune system, and just about every system I've been to has got one of them. So community farming is big in the future. I didn't check and see if the pirates had one, but the pirates do have Labor United, so who knows. There we go. I like how we just kind of like skip and slide off there. So here we are. Community Farming Center. Look at all these plants. Community Farming. Alright, so welcome to the Generic Farming Outpost main directory. If you're looking to purchase any of our synthetic fruit products, we have them listed at the farmer's market. About Generic Farming Outpost. Food synthesis plays a major role in survival of the Astrox population, feeding over 1 million residents every cycle. These farming outposts provide a valuable service. Using our food support items, you'll be able to equip your ship's life support systems with quality food guaranteed to last you during that long haul through the void of space. Speaking of life support, I can stick a cheeseburger in my life support if I want to. I just purchased a cheeseburger for 190,000 credits. Oh, my biscuits. Okay. Well, speaking of life support. Sorry, I'm just in shock here right now. Cheeseburger. I'm going to go ahead and replace this. Since I paid for it, I'm going to use it. I have a cheeseburger and food synthesis. Maybe burn protein bars anyway. Life support. Life support only goes down. I didn't realize I had done this. I didn't do it on purpose. This must be the default setting. Extras. Hull damage, life support. I didn't turn this on. This must have been turned on by default. Your life support will only drain when your ship's hull has taken damage. So I'm leaving it on right now because that kind of makes sense to me. Why should my life support start draining if my ship is still in really good shape? That particular mechanic was not something I was excited about, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So Community Farming Center does not offer any missions. What about... Can I dock at the public energy generator? Let's see if we can just dock at that and see what happens. So we have two easy types of missions we can just pick up in here. We can pick up those collection missions. We can pick up bounty missions. But I guess it's all about what do you want to do in this game. Alright, welcome to Generic Power Core Systems main menu. Please select an option from below. I can recharge my ship's energy, which I do not need to do. Alright, but it says I need to. Please come again, remember to stay out there. 1,000 max charge for a visit. So, if your ship was low on energy, you can dock at one of these places, and they will take care of you. They'll hook you up with energy. So that was Community Farming Center. There was also a Recon Center. Alright, there was two of these, right? Because one of them kinda, I couldn't really gather what it was for. It was just kinda like, seemed like it was related to the lore. I kinda thought the Recon Center would be something related to combat, but apparently it wasn't. So yeah, if you do decide to play this, make sure that you click on everything and scan it and see if you can dock with it. Yikes. Alright, here, so there's two people here. I guess I've been looking for some information. Can you tell me anything about the Imperium? I guess I can tell you what little I know. Everyone has their own theory about what happened. There are even a few drinking games based on the most popular ones. I've heard a few interesting stories when I was a kid. My uncle would tell me all about the records they would find on salvage trips. I really can't remember half of what he said, but I remember lying awake at night thinking about what really happened. Tell me one you do remember. Oh my, I barely even think about that stuff anymore. I would have to ask my uncle again. and he's not around anymore. How did he die? He didn't die exactly. Well, not as far as anyone knows. He just kind of disappeared one day. He left for a salvage job, dropped off a payload, and that was it. No one ever saw him again. A few of his contractors came looking for him when he stopped bidding on no jobs, but that was it. He vanished. Maybe he found something better out there. He wouldn't be the first person to up and vanish in the void. You know, they say there are wormholes out there that can make you rich overnight. Just be careful you don't get yourself stuck on the wrong side. Yeah, that would suck. I am rich. I am lost. My family used to joke about how he would just show up as his younger self one day, like nothing ever happened. We would laugh and imagine what craziness he had for himself. In. After a few years, the jokes just weren't funny anymore. I can understand that. Well, thanks for the trip down memory lane. It was nice chatting with you. I better get back to work. Well, that's hinting about those wormholes. Those wormholes were mentioned in the... Alright, the wormholes were mentioned in the... so there's a little bit of problems there with the chatting. Alright, so that's... Alright, defensive gun platform. Let's dock with defensive gun platform. And that'll be just about our 30 minutes for this session. We know what storage facility does. We know what recon center does. Now, like I said, I've been through several different systems and they all have these exact same types of extra stuff. So this is defensive gun platform. Appears to be unmanned. I hope we don't get attacked because nobody's manning the guns. That would be the critical part of a defensive gun platform. Seems like would be somebody willing to operate the guns to shoot. All right, well, that's that. Undock. So we've got just a couple minutes. I'm going to hop over into, let's go to Gate of Alpharus. We're going to dock with one of their things over there and see if they have exactly the same stuff. I'm guessing that they do, but maybe they don't. And if they do, either way, I'm going to go do some combat missions, try and get some big space bucks, get my character upgraded so ship goes faster, we use less energy, we're firing weapons. Eventually I want to get a ship that can fly drones. I loved having the drones. It was just crazy. In the old game, when the drones, I would have my laser drones out there firing. It was like a big disco ball full of lasers, just blowing everything up. So let's see what happens. Everything remains scanned except for asteroids. I wish asteroids would remain scanned from one visit to the other, but they don't. There is a section in your... There's a section in your journal. Alright, so like, oh, remember what I was complaining about before? Alright, so I can go here to structures. And that's stations. I can go here to stations and look at what they sold before. So that's kind of what I was complaining about in another video. Resources, resource scans. It's empty. It remembers all the stations I've been to, but it doesn't remember all the resources I've found. So there's... This might have been a bad system to come into to do this, because apparently there's nothing except for these two main space stations. What's that? Oh, that's the guy I blew up, I think. Let's go see if there's anything in it. But I'm pretty sure that's the crate of the guy that I blew up. What system we're in? We're in the Gates of Alpharus? Yeah. So I don't know if the... It says carrier crate though, that seems kind of big. Anyway. I hope that's not it, because that would mean that crates are persistent. Oh wow, this is a lot of stuff. There's 2,000. It's a burglar drone. That's nice. I don't want all this atomite ore. This stuff, this stuff. So something blew up this carrier. I have no idea. But hey, free stuff. Light energy charge, base price 16,000. Light. All right, so that's gonna have to stay behind. I'll take as much atomite as I can, which is 3. Hey, just free loot laying around. All right, back to Void Starcross, I guess. All right, we'll hop over to another system. You'll stick with me for an extra couple of minutes, right? I mean, we're all friends. And you just saw me get a big thing of musical instruments and assembly tools. These carefully packed containers hold synthwood reproductions of instruments like guitars and pianos. In the silence of deep space, people will pay good money to hear anything other than the grinding of gears and the hum of ventilation. I agree. So what else is there? Light armor repair. Apparently that's a usable thing. That's a... Armor nanobots will provide repair and damage armor of your ship. These nanobots repair 150 armor points before they expire. Burglar drone. That is something. This burglar drone can use stealth to attach to a target. When successful, return to the parent ship with one item of cargo from the target. Now that would be awesome. Let's go over to Gate of Alpharus. That's the one we just came through, isn't it? Let's go to Hunu then. So I think one thing you could do, maybe, I mean, there's, like I said, there's all sorts of factions working for different factions. You could try the pirate life. I mean, from what I can tell, factions, I don't know how much it matters. Like if I get down to -10 with enforcement, does that mean I'm going to have police ships following me everywhere, or do I only have to worry about when I run into police ships? And like in this sector here, there's not a single other spaceship. Other sectors there are other spaceships, but I've never had any of them interact with me except for that one raider that blew me up when I was on that mining mission. Now, the guy that I had to blow up, that poor innocent miner that I had to blow up, he didn't even know I was there to blow him up. He just kept mining. And I went up and clicked on his ship and he's like, I really enjoy mining, but always make sure you leave a little bit extra behind. I was like, that's interesting. Okay, so I've chosen the two systems that didn't have extra stuff in them. Isn't that always the way? Isn't that always the way? Let's try Temple Gates. Go see if the church people have anything going on in their system. See, I blew him up. Took him a long time to blow him up because he was in a heavily armored ship. Blew him up, got that. But you saw what just happened. I mean, like, I just blew up that one raider, got the credits for it. Now, I haven't ran into... Alright, so when I went to that one system, that was that same system, by the way, Big Cola. I went there to do that. That was where I ran into some raiders. I was in Dogstar Prime or Dogstar Alpha. 3 raiders there spawned, but I was already leaving the system. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go fight them just to see what happens. Because if you get blown up, you can just load from your previous save. And it auto saves after every time you undock from a station. So I was like, hey, I'll go fight those pirates and see what happens. But I left the system and I went back to the system and they were gone. It seems like every time you go into a system, it regenerates the stuff that's there, or repopulates or respawns. Re-rolls might be a better... That looks like a different asteroid. Nope, just Adamite. So making money is not going to be a problem anymore, it looks like. But we were only in the first 10 or so systems. There's 100 systems at least, plus the wormholes. So who knows what type of firepower you might need. Maybe you do need a full fleet of carriers and everything once you get further into the game, but maybe not. This is going to be the same thing, I bet. Okay, so everybody's just going to think I'm crazy talking about those other things you can spawn. Let's see, like this guy here, Missile Enforcer. Okay. It's hard to tell too. Ooh, what's that? Okay. All right, there we go. Lay Reunited. Haha, I'm not crazy. I was tested several times, and I am not crazy. All right, so I'm going to go Lay Reunited, see if they have the exact same. So Lay Reunited, they should have pickup missions. And then we will know, won't we? My new ship kind of crawls. Now, since I added the cheeseburger, my life support has gone down. It says I have 345 out of 448. Have I redocked at a station since then? I don't think I've been back to a regular station since I bought the... 148,000 credit cheeseburger. How much money do I even have now? Down to 331,710, or is that 331 and 710 thousandths? 10 thousandths, I don't know. This looks all very familiar. Yep, same thing. Derelict crates. You have to leave the station and come back if you want to talk to him again. He's the only guy on here. There's nothing to steal, no loot. That would be nice. Nothing to steal. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end now. So we know that those two things offer missions. We know that the offices offer bounty missions, and the Labor United offers pickup missions, recovering derelict crates. And that's where we will end for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are having a great 2022 so far. And I will see you in the next video.